Can you hear me?
Yes, Ken.
Nice. How's it going, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
It's been what, a year or two since I spoke to you?
Yeah, I think it's been like less than a year or something like that, but
Was it
it's great to
was it
talk
it
to
was
you
for the
again.
it was for the remixes, right?
That's right.
How do you say
And
your last name? Runequist?
pretty close. Yeah, I go Runquist, but
Runquist,
yeah,
okay.
I
But
suppose over in Europe they would probably add more of the
yeah,
way that you gave.
what's your nationality?
Uh, well, I'm in Minnesota, but I'm Norwegian and Swedish is
So
where that
Norwegian.
comes
How
from.
would they say it in Norwegian? Runquist? Runquist?
Runquist, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Runquist. Yeah.
There you go.
Mhm. Well, awesome. Well, it's great to be able to talk to you again. Apologies about the time scheduling and stuff like that. I'm still glad
Yeah.
that we can make this happen.
Yeah. I was just wondering what was going on. But
Yeah. Oh, well, awesome. Well, like I said, it's great to be able to talk to you again. And since the last time that we talked, there's been a lot of cool stuff that's been happening in the Fear Factory camp.
yeah, we've been really busy. We've been released. We had two new releases. Well, I wouldn't say new, but re-releases with new elements on the mechanized and the re-industrialized. And yeah, we've been touring like crazy.
Yeah, and that's so cool to see. And of course, more touring that's going to be coming up for the end of the year as well. I mean, how does it feel to have Fear Factory going at full force again?
Oh, it feels great. I can't wait to release new music next year for everybody to hear that, and then just keep going on the road. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff scheduled coming up this year and next year. So be on the lookout for all that stuff, and of course, new music as well.
Oh, awesome. Well, the first thing I want to touch on, obviously, the last time that we talked, there was no vocalist officially announced in the band, but of course, Milo has joined in, and also I saw that there was a drummer change as well too, with Pete now joining up on drums.
Yeah, Pete from Havoc is playing drums with us. He's been playing, started in February on the Static X tour. And of course, Milo came in a couple of months before that. We did the announcement in January. Um, yeah, a lot of new changes and a lot of new excitement coming up. So
So, thinking about that, like, how is it feeling, like, with this current lineup? Like, what was it like the first time you got all four of you together to be able to jam out on some songs?
it felt great because Pete's an awesome drummer, and he definitely added some, much needed energy in the drumming department. And yeah, he's killer, and he fucking headbangs while he plays live. He's a great guy to watch live. He just sounds amazing. And of course, Milo is the younger kid in the band, and he's got a lot of energy, and it comes across great live.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch you on the previous tour that concluded, but I did get to see some video and stuff like that, and I really love his range. Like he hits the song so very well. I really love his style.
Yeah, well, he's very well capable of doing all those harmonies and all those high notes and everything like that. And that's one of the reasons why I chose him, because I knew that, a lot of his vocal range is going to be a lot easier to write with.
Oh, definitely. And I imagine along with that as well too, like the more that you're playing shows together, the more you're able to rehearse, like everything is just getting stronger and stronger. So I imagine with the upcoming tour that you're going to be doing soon, that the shows are just going to be even tighter.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We got the Metal Injection Festival. It's the first time that's ever happening. It's going to be in Anaheim, California on September 17th. And then right after that, we got uh, about six headlining shows with lines at the gate, and then after that we pair up with Lacuna Coil, and we got a handful of dates with Lacuna Coil across the U.S. And then we fly over to Europe and we start a headlining tour there with the Busher Babies.
Oh, that is so cool, and I love the diversity of all of that as well too. Like the festival appearances, Lacuna Coil, Lines at the Gates, and of course Butcher Babies. I mean, like very distinct bands on all of those appearances, and it's great to see you guys being able to match up with all of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're a band that has a lot of different elements into our music, and I think that we're able to branch out and play with other bands besides just the obvious metal bands. But not nothing against that. I enjoy all that, but I'm glad that we're a band that has those different elements that we're able to play with all different types. And Lacuna Coil has been our friends for years. I can't wait to play with those shows with them. I wish the tour was longer with them, but we have to head over to Europe to do those headlining shows with Butcher Babies. And Butcher Babies is pretty heavy as it is. You know what I mean? They, don't let the two beautiful girls, distract you from their insane heavy voices. They got some brutal voices, and they could sing melodically, and they're killer. And Lions at the Gate is Christian Filonino and a couple of other guys, Aru and Diego. I guess at one point they were in El Nino as well. Their new band is killer, and so I can't wait to play shows with them as well. And like I said again, I love playing with the diversity in different bands. I love that, and we're gonna continue to do that.
So going into that a little bit deeper, I mean, all of those appearances and tours that you mentioned is going to be putting the band in different perspectives as well too. Like the Metal Injection Festival, you guys are doing something very special for that. Doing an opening set for Lacuna Coil, and then of course the headlining sets. Like, how is it like going between those different types of sets for you?
Great. I mean, we're not really changing much. I mean, we're not really going to be changing a bunch of songs or nothing like that to accommodate each tour because we are who we are. You know what I mean? Um, the cool thing about the Metal Injection Festival is that it's Testament and Machine Head, and that's going to be killer. And we are doing a special set. It's only going to be songs from Demanufacture and Obsolete. The band's two biggest records. So we're going to be doing songs from them, and then of course when we do headlining dates, we're going to be doing at least 15 to 16 songs, a collection of some of the best Fear Factory songs, and probably throw in some deeper cuts, like Freedom or Fire for sure, because we haven't played that song since 1998, maybe once or twice we played it live way back then. So I can't wait to bring it back and do it now, do it live. A lot of people have been requesting that song over the years. Um, Lynchpin has been in the set since we played South America, and once we did a handful of headlining dates. And Lynchpin is one of the band's biggest songs, so it's great to be able to play that song live again. We haven't played it in quite a few years. Milo has the vocal range to handle it, no problem. So it's been really good. Whenever we play that song, the reaction has been amazing. Um, yeah, and we're just going to be able to continue doing what we're doing, man. We got a collection of hits that we could play. We added Descent into the set list, and that was great. A lot of people wanted to hear that song as well.
One of my
These,
personal favorites.
yeah, these are songs that we hardly ever played. So, to bring them back into the set list has been working really well. Amongst all the hits, like Edge Crusher, Shock, Demanufacture, Replica. Those songs. We those are a staple in the set list.
Oh, of course. And I remember the last time that we talked, I remember telling you how excited I was to be seeing what the set list was going to be going forward, and with the previous tour, and just like seeing all these great songs, like some that haven't been played in a while, some of course being the staples, but just hearing about the songs that might be added at some point, that will be added at some point, like it's just got me so excited to be able to see more of the catalog being exposed along with the big hits. It's just so cool.
Correct. You said exposed. Um, yeah, because later on we're going to be adding different songs as well. We're going to be probably bringing back Dark Bodies, Memory
Oh,
Imprints,
nice.
that song, probably that song, and doing some deeper cuts from like Mechanized, like maybe Christploitation or the last song on the record. I can't think of the title at the moment, but the big ballad at the end of end of the record. Some of that stuff is really, it's called Final Exit. That's what it's called,
Yes.
Final Exit. And doing those songs live, because we sometimes you only play the songs live when that album is out. You know what I mean? Because you got to make room for the new record. Because we got 10 records out, so it's hard to choose. The songs that you're gonna play from one of those records. What we try to do is we try to do at least two songs from each album.
And that's such a great approach too. I mean, obviously, you're gonna want to put more or less depending on the album, depending on the slot, depending on the tour. All of that stuff goes into consideration. But the fact that you put so much effort into it like that, just like trying to cover as much ground as possible, is a great way to go about it.
Yeah, especially now that we got Mechanized that's been reissued, and we got Re-Industrialized, which is our record, which is a souped up record from the Industrialist remix. But not remix in the techno way, but remix is like we just remixed that album with new guitar tones and live drums. So now that we released those two, we're probably going to be adding, new, other songs from that album, those two albums.
Yeah, and I wanted to get into that as well too because I remember getting the email about that that was available for pre-order and everything, and I was just so excited to see those albums come back to life again in some way, shape, or form. You know, whether it's the live drums or being able to mix with the guitar tones, remixing, remastering, all the stuff that could go into it. And I'm glad to see like the final forms are available now, and just being able to check them out that way.
Yeah, mechanized. We didn't do a lot to. We didn't do anything to the record. All we did was added the bonus tracks, and we released it on vinyl with the bonus tracks. So that's really cool. Because a lot of times when you do bonus tracks, it's only released in certain countries. Like Japan might get a different song, Australia might get a different song. So we just put it all on one thing and just release it digitally and on vinyl as well. And then Re-Industrialized, we went in and we actually did all the drums over with live drums because the original version had just drum programming, which a lot of our fans were not very happy about. So we decided to give them an option, and we added live drums, and then we went back in and we reamped my guitars to make it a little bit more crunchier, a little bit thicker, and then obviously we mixed the album again, and it came out killer. It actually breathed new life into the record, and that's why we gave it a different title and a different cover. So the cover is very similar to the original one, but it's different enough. And the title is obviously called Re-Industrialized, which is perfect title for redoing the record.
Oh, for sure. And I'll definitely say I enjoy both versions, honestly. I I really love your take on programming the drums. I remember the first time I got to talk to you, we were talking about like what goes into what you have idea for drum patterns when you're working on a drum machine or however you do it. And just being able to hear like that version compared to the live drums and being able to compare and contrast as a drummer myself, I love the different options when it comes to that.
Correct. Correct. And that's exactly why we did it, because you have the option. If you didn't like the program drums and you voiced your opinion, uh, now you have the live drums that you can enjoy. And if you're one of those persons who don't want to hear the organic drums and just want to hear the synthetic drums, then there you go. You got that option too. So I'm trying to make everybody happy.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, just going into the cover art as well too. I love that it is so similar, but it is just different enough. Like looking at both of them and just noticing the little detail changes and everything, and just being able to have that life again, like I mentioned before. It's just so cool to see that.
Yeah, Anthony Clarkson, who did the artwork for the original cover, he's actually been doing our covers since Mechanized. So he did Mechanized, the Re-Industrialist. I'm sorry, Industrialist, Re-Industrialized. He did that as well. He also did Genexus. So yeah, so we had him do just reamp the cover and just revamp the cover and just add some different stuff to it, and it worked out great. I love the way it looks. Looks great on a t-shirt as well.
All the more reason I hope you guys make it back to Minnesota soon so I could pick it up at the merch stand. I mean, that'd be really cool to see that.
Well, if you want to buy that t-shirt, Re-Industrialized and Mechanized, no, Re-Industrialized and Genexus. No, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm confused here. Re-Industrialized and Aggression Continuum. If you want to buy those t-shirts on our website, they're if you go to the merch section, they're available for $10 each for my birthday. As a lot of people know, my birthday's coming up on Saturday, so we decided to put those two shirts on sale for my birthday for the whole month, so they could pick them up for $10.
That's an absolute steal. I might have to pick up both of them.
Yeah, on in America, it's about $5 or $6 shipping, not too much, less than $10 shipping. But of course, when you're shipping overseas, it's much more. So, but again, you're only paying $10 for the t-shirt, which is pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. So, going into that as well too. I mean, of course, with all these great things that are going on right now, and of course, new material on the horizon in the coming years, whether it be next year or however long it takes. Like, have you guys started coming up with any ideas yet, or are you guys just focusing on the touring right now?
100% coming up with a lot of ideas. We have a lot of material recorded. We just need a couple more things that we got to do, and we should be good to go next year.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm so excited to see what this new form is going to be like.
The only thing is, I'm still trying to. I got a few titles, and I haven't been able to pick one yet. But I might do a contest next year on which title people like, and so I'll have. We'll probably have two album covers for each title, so whichever one gets outvoted or gets voted, whichever one has the most votes, that'll be the album cover and the title. So
And that's a great way to
that's
get
just
fan.
it's just an idea. I'm not saying it's really going to happen, but it's just an idea. And I'm speaking a little bit, just I'm speaking out loud, kind of like thinking out loud, and that could possibly be something that could happen. And if it does, I think that would be great because it would get the fans really engaged um, on the new release.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say the fan participation would be a really cool way to go about that. But if like one title does stick out to you before then, it's probably the right choice as well too. Just regardless, I'm very excited to see what will happen in the future.
Well, we have two titles. That's the thing. That's the thing, and they're both great. And it's like, it's like you kind of like I could just flip a coin and I could figure it out that way. But in some ways, you just want to see what the fans think, and just maybe not. That could turn into a disaster. You never know.
Oh,
But
that's true.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So thinking about that with the couple of ideas that you have, are they also songs as well too, or are they just something that you feel like really represents the album?
Say it again.
Or the two ideas that you have for the album title, are
Yeah.
they also songs on the album,
Correct.
or are they just
Correct. Correct.
cool?
Correct.
Awesome. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that as well too. Like things
Yeah.
come together like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet. And yeah, and all the stuff that's going to be happening as well too. I mean, of course, being able to promote the last album, being able to promote the re-release, well, so many different types of re-releases and uh new versions of albums as well too, and getting to go back out to Europe and North America and all these great stuff that's going on. And of course, it's hard times going on right now in the world
Oh
right now.
boy.
I imagine like the
Oh,
touring expenses are just astronomical and stuff like that, but I'm glad that you guys are weathering the storm out for that.
yeah. Well, going back to a lot of the re-releases you're talking about, a lot of that is due to COVID because we had all this downtime during COVID, right? That I was able to spend time and do the Re-Industrialized, do the remix album of Aggression Continuum called Recoded. So I was able to have time to do all that kind of stuff. But now that we're touring and we're out there touring, yeah, we've been victims of what it's like touring at this day and age and how much it costs out there. Just and the lack of availability of a few things like no buses. Like buses are scarce right now. You know, um, just traveling accommodations are difficult, and the prices of a lot of things are just through the roof, and all the percentages that the club is taking and things like that. It just adds up, and it's really difficult out there right now.
Oh yeah, and those merch cuts, I've seen it personally firsthand when I've done interviews in person, and the manager of the club or whoever's putting on the show will just come up to him and talk like, "Oh, I need like 25%, I need 30%," and my jaw just dropped. That especially the first time I saw that, and it's just like that you didn't make these merch sales happen. I don't understand why you're taking all this money from the people who actually put the effort out to make these merch sales available.
Well, the venue owners are like, look, if you're going to sell merch in my house, you're going to have to give me a cut. It's basically how they look at it. It's just ways of making more money for them. In other words, let's just throw a number out there. Let's hypothetically say they're paying you $5,000 to play the show. Let's say you're getting paid $5,000, and you make let's say you sell $15,000 worth of merch, right? And then you take 30% of that. How much is that? I don't have the calculator in front of me, but let's say they're getting. You have a calculator?
Not on me, I don't.
Let's say they're getting $2,000 or $3,000. Let's say you have to pay them back $2,000 or $3,000 from your merch cut. That means they only paid you $2,000 in guarantee. So it's like you're basically paying to play.
Yeah, and I hate it when that happens when it's local bands. I hate it when it's touring bands. I everything like that should not be happening.
No, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. You just got to deal with it, unfortunately.
It really is. And again, that's all the more reason why I am so appreciative that you guys are going out there. You're weathering the storms of all that's, like you mentioned earlier about how hard it is to get a tour bus nowadays, how hard it is to deal with merch cuts. Like the fact that you're still going out there and touring and wanting to make new music and playing the songs for the people, no matter where they are in the world, that you still want to go out and do that.
Oh, of course. I mean, metal and playing live, it's in my heart, it's in my blood, and it's something that I really enjoy doing. And especially putting a smile on people's faces when they come out to see you play and they get to hear the songs they haven't heard in a long time. It's a really good feeling. But the unfortunate part is that ticket prices are going up, merch prices are going up, and gas prices are insane out there right now, and just paying for gas for a tour bus or any kind of travel, whether it's an RV or a van, it's expensive. It's very expensive. I think a lot of people don't realize that. I mean, and I don't understand why they shouldn't realize it, because they're also paying a lot of money for gas when they're just going to work, you know excuse me. So that imagine that, when you're doing a big bus and you're spending $500 a night on gas.
Yeah, and it just sucks so much. But yeah, again, just the appreciation that you're continuing to do that. And I'm just glad the inspiration is still there to do that as well too. I mean, whether it is making the albums or going out and tour, or any lineup changes that happen, it's just like there's so many things that could ruin the experience of being in the band and wanting to keep making music under a moniker. And just like seeing over the years everything that's happened, and from the videos that I've seen of this current lineup right now, it feels so strong. And I can't wait to see how it keeps going forward, especially when the new album cycle eventually happens, and just seeing where you are in that chapter.
Yeah, we're just going to be touring like crazy coming up. Record touring. That's pretty much been my life for the past 33 years.
No, for sure. So, thinking about that as well too, of course, like outside of Fear Factory, like do you have any ideas of anything that's going on with you outside of Fear Factory, or are you just focusing on Fear Factory right now?
I'm mainly just focusing on Fear Factory, sure, but I have my other band Assassino, and I have Divine Heresy in the back burner. That's just whenever I get time to get to it. Fear Factory is going to be pretty much taking up all my time. And even if I did have a moment to do it, I would have no time for myself. And when you're on the road, 3-4 months at a time, you need to come home, you need to recharge, you need to relax, and you just need to recharge your batteries, man. And just because we have a lot of touring coming up.
So, thinking about that, I mean, obviously to avoid that burnout, like how do you relax when you actually do get some free time?
um still I'm still playing guitar, I'm still doing stuff in music, but it's just not having to handle any business, not having to stress, and just not having to travel, just being home, spending time with family and friends.
No, that's a great way to do it. And of course, keeping those chops up as well too. I mean, whether you're working on old songs, whether you're coming up with new ideas, as long as that inspiration is there, take full advantage of it.
Yeah, to me, vacation is staying at home, not touring. That's vacation.
That is a great way to look at it.
it.
Oh, awesome. Well, I think we covered a lot of great ground here. Of course, I'm glad we were able to make everything work, despite things were, I'll be editing out and of course all that stuff. But I'm so glad we were able to catch up again, be able to promote the new releases that are out, the upcoming touring that's going to be happening, of course, in Europe. And of course, what I'm most excited about is that new album whenever that comes out. Yeah, I'm just chomping at the bit to see what the next chapter of Fear Factory is all about.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And one thing I want to say before we go, um, October 30th, 1990, this October will be October 31st, sorry, 1990, will be Fear Factory's 33-year anniversary. So, and also in September, in a couple of days, will be my birthday. We will be putting a lot of merchandise on sale. So if you go to fearfactory.com/merch, you'll be able to get some shirts on sale, like Re-Industrialized and Aggression Continuum will be on sale for $10 all month of September for my birthday. So, you know, go look it up and support the band. And I want to say thank you for all the fans that supported us for the last 33 years. A lot of people grew up with us. A lot of people just discovered us, and I welcome them all. I welcome them all. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I thank you very much for taking the time to do this. It's always a pleasure every time I'm able to talk to you and we just get to have these really cool conversations back and forth. And just praising the name of Fear Factory. And of course, when any time comes down, like any of the other projects that comes up, if that happens in the future, I'd love to be able to talk to you about that as well.
Also, look for some big tour announcements coming in the next month.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just so excited about all of that. And again, thank you so much for all of that. After I'm done editing this, I'm going over to fearfactory.com and checking out that merchandise and seeing what's available. I'm very excited to see what the sales are.
All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem. Hope you have a great rest of the day. And once again, thank you so much for your time.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.